How you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. Can you give
Doing
us a
great.
brief?
Doing great. Great to meet you guys.
Fantastic.
Is is uh is the office going to change with this new fundraise? I gotta ask. Are you guys going to stay posted in the living room?
Do we have you, Victor? I think we might have lost you.
Seems like we're having some technical issues.
Okay. Well, we can see and hear you now.
Yeah.
A little
Okay.
bit
Let me go
far away
downstairs.
from the Wi-Fi router. I mean, that is the issue with working at home. Complicated Wi-Fi. You need the
Yeah.
enterprise solution soon. Now that you have the
I
big
know. I
Series B
know.
done.
It's gonna be so very soon.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They are doing another meeting, so I'm gonna steal Diego's room.
This is great.
I
Hey,
love
we're getting
I
the
love
whole
getting
tour.
the I love
Oh,
getting
by
the
the way,
tour.
you guys want to see the office?
Yeah, yeah,
Please.
yeah. Let's just do a tour.
Anything that you can show
Okay,
us,
so,
you can turn around. Oh,
Boom.
okay. There you
No
go.
API keys, hopefully.
Mexican music going on.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
We're alive.
Yeah,
Yo,
wow. Hey,
what's up,
guys.
guys?
How you doing?
Congratulations on the milestone.
Looking great.
Wow, you guys
Good
said
team.
you guys were not kidding about the living room, but you've really built it out. I love it.
That's
Yeah. No,
amazing.
it's looking good.
That's good.
Uh, nice. Why don't you introduce yourself? John was going to ask you that, and then I cut him off.
No, you're all good.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So, cool.
Here we go.
So my background, my background, yeah, like I guess on my background, like the TLDR is growing up, I was very interested into creative things of all kinds. I mainly had a music band, and I was doing from playing multiple instruments in the little studio that I created in my house to producing music, mixing, mastering, like learning about all of these uh, processes around music production. But through my music band, I also got super interested on doing photography and like doing different kinds of content for that music band. So that way I explore like many different things from graphic design, 3D, graffiti art. I also had like a big passion for that. And at some point that was in 2015. I was just like I just finished high school, and I was not sure about what to do after that. And I had like two options in front of me. One of it was go and do classical guitar studies at the Conservatory of Barcelona, at the Conservatory of Guitar of Barcelona. And the other one was doing something around computer science or physics. I really like math. And I guess that what I like about math is kind of like the challenges that it poses and like the interesting, yeah, like I guess that like I love challenges and math, put like a lot of challenges in front of me. But in the end, I found like this middle ground on this degree that it was called Audiovisual Systems Engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like this degree where they showed you how a microphone works, how MP3 encodes audio, how
Mm-hmm.
MP4 encodes video, etc. And that's where I met Diego, my co-founder. That was like 10 years ago. He ended up in that same degree, following kind of a similar story. In his case, he came from having a lot of interest in film and a lot of interest in 3D as well. But also he also loved programming and he also loved engineering. So we both ended up like in that degree. And on the second or third year, I got introduced into, I mean, first of all, I loved coding.
Mm-hmm.
Like right after getting into the degree, I loved coding. Found it like extremely creative. Later on, I found about AI. I was mind blown by deep learning, like just like the fact that you can have these neural networks learning by themselves from data and being able to do such complex tasks was very interesting to me. And when I discovered about GANs, that they were like very early
Mm-hmm.
models for image generation, that's when I fell super deep into the rabbit hole. And I ended up like reading a lot of papers, doing a ton of implementations by my own from all these papers that they were out there back when everything was open source. Uh, and yeah, and ended up.
The good old days.
Wistfully
The
thinking
good old
about
days.
Open source days. Do you have a first question or?
No, go for it.
20 million users, absolutely massive. Congratulations. Where are you seeing those folks come from? Is it consumers just having fun, prosumers who are maybe doing little contracting work, monetizing their creativity on social networks, or are you already in the enterprise, or all three?
All three. I think that up until recently, there were like two very well-defined blogs of users. One of them, it was the consumer type. It was people who this technology gave them a 0 to 1 when it comes to creative freedom or to like enabling them to create. It's people that didn't necessarily come from a creative background, but they had a lot of joy out of expressing their creative ideas using this technology, and they were paying for the subscription almost in the same way that you could pay for a video game or that you could pay for a camera. Then we had the professional, and the professional, it was that user that did have a creative background and that it was using our technology, when I mean our platform, to speed up some of their processes. These speed ups like vary depending on the industry. Like you would see architecture studios coming to Korea with very low resolution renders and using our enhancer to get these renders up to 4K resolutions with very crisp textures. Or you would see game designers coming to our real-time tool, putting a bunch of ideas around characters and being able to create prototypes for some characters that they were designing. So
Can you talk about just general adoption? So during this sort of like Studio Ghibli moment, it's still, top of mind. We saw a lot of people that still weren't aware. They had no idea how these images were being created. John and I think that some people thought it was like Snapchat filters or something like that. Can you talk about just like consumer sort of awareness and adoption broadly? Are you guys still finding people every single day that are just sort of like completely new to this sort of new image generation models, or
yeah.
what do you think the broad consumer awareness is today?
I mean, I just came 2 days ago from a short trip to New York, and I feel like that trip to New York made me realize how deep in the bubble we are here in SF. Like, I think that I take for granted that people know that nowadays you can generate images with artificial intelligence, and that's not the case. Like, I think that we haven't reached. I wouldn't even know what's like the percentage of like reach that we have had right now, but it's definitely very, very small. Like, this technology is still nascent. People like us are trying to make it intuitive and usable for really anybody to just like grab a phone, type a URL, and be able to create an image very easy. But I think that people still need to know that this is even a possibility. Like, I think that they just don't even think that some of the problems that they have when it comes to marketing or when it comes to doing product design can be solved today by artificial intelligence. So I don't know if I'm the best one, like if I'm the best person to have like a good sense of what is the current adoption because of how deep we are in the SF bubble.
Yeah.
From my experience that I've had in New York, I don't know, like I had this fun story that I was on an Uber, and the Uber like she just like saw that I was like talking on the phone in Spanish, and she was from Puerto Rico, so she started like talking with me and asking me what I was from and what I was doing. And this woman, she had like she was like selling a sort of like beauty products on Instagram. And I saw it, and she started asking me, "Oh, so can I use your tool for doing like this product photography, or can I use like all of these things?" And as she was talking, I was like, "Yes, you can do it, but you need to go through a process. It's not like some magic thing that you like go there and like the AI does everything for you. You need to go and train a model with your product. After the model is trained, you go to the image generator. There, you create like all the assets that you want. And after you have this workflow in mind, after you have like this workflow in place, you can generate as many assets as you want, and like your workflow is going to be extremely optimized." Yeah.
How do you think about prompt engineering long term? Is it I remember like a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, everybody said every company like prompt engineer is going to be this new role, and now it feels like it's getting easy enough to prompt a lot of these tools. I'm sure like Korea, that maybe it's just not necessarily, maybe it's a skill set, but not necessarily a job. But I'm curious how you think, do you think that prompt engineering will still matter in 5 or 10 years, or it'll just be super intuitive?
I mean, prompt engineering at the end of the day, it's just like being able to communicate your ideas in a clear way with like this technology, Like we have like this AI model that can understand language and that can do things. And prompt engineering is just like the way that you tell this knowledge that we have encapsulated how to do things or what exactly to do. So at the end of the day, it's just managing. And I do think that this feels like a new way of doing software. And I do feel like this is gonna, like in the future, most software that we see out there has been created by a very big percentage through prompt engineering, through steering AI models towards whatever you want to accomplish. And I see this on the visual space. Like I see us building Korea in the future more and more through instructions. I see our users working with our platform more and more through instructions rather than through just
Yeah.
like typing a prompt and just like getting an image. I think that this new model from OpenAI kind of shows that.
Yes.
Um,
Speaking of the new OpenAI model, it seems like they've evolved the actual underlying algorithm. It's not purely diffusion based. Are there new buzzwords or keywords that have you reverse engineered any of how they're doing that? Because it seems like there's a number of steps, like they're actually transforming the prompt. There's some reasoning in there. The image loads top to bottom, which we haven't seen before. Midjourney kind of diffuses everything from blurry to crisp, just the whole image at a time. It seems like they're doing some sort of blocks or line by line rendering. What can you tell us about how that system actually works?
I don't have I mean, I have some intuitions, but I'm not like super, I don't have high confidence on how it works. It seems like there's some autoregressiveness going on,
Yeah.
and we have already seen similar things with Grok image generation. But I feel like to me, what it's really game changing about this new image model is it's like very similar to what we were like talking about before. Like this is an image model that is able to reason and it's able to understand instructions. Like it's able to understand, here's like the picture of my dog, turn it into Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And like this is like something new. This is like something that previous diffusion models were not good at.
Yeah.
Like diffusion models are good at, you have like a text and you can generate an image that kind of represents that text, but it's very hard to have them reason and to have
Totally.
like, think about like what you want to do and what is the instruction that the user wants and how to accomplish that goal.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like there was like how it was like everything a style transfer should have been, plus the latest and greatest in diffusion models. Like they really like packaged that up very well. And so I think that's why it broke through. But anyway, congratulations on the round. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah.
And thanks for the office tour unexpectedly. That was really fun. But we'll let you get back to work. I'm
give
sure
our
there's
best
so much to do.
the whole team.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
Cheers.
a lot. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.